Hi Jenny, this is Donnie Vaughn of the Marketing Twins. I wanted to give you a quick tutorial overview, summary, whatever you want to call it, of the sidebar widgets. And let me kind of explain really quickly what that is on your site. This sidebar right here, this is called a sidebar. It's kind of a column. Everything that I'm kind of circling right there, just that is that over here on the right hand side, this is the right sidebar. So you have the left sidebar over here, the right sidebar over here. This in the middle is the body of your pages and so forth. So let's talk about these widgets, sidebar widgets. I will show you here how that works in just a minute, but think about it as a widget. You can put a lot of different things in a widget. You can put RSS feeds, you can put polls and a variety of other things, but what WordPress allows you to do is just have a text widget so that you can go in, or whoever sets the site up can go in and put in pictures and text to create the sidebars on the left and the right. And that's what we chose to do here. Now, there will be a lot of times that you will probably not have to do a lot with this, but if you ever wanted to, I'm going to show you how to do it. And if you need help with this, certainly let us know. All right, so on the left sidebar widget, this section here that I'm highlighting under historic districts, I've got that as one text widget. The second text widget under the left sidebar is this Join Us section. On the right side, our mission is one text widget, proud sponsors is one, and Facebook Twitter is one in itself. We did that so that it'd be really easy to find if you're wanting to maybe add some text here, or you're adding another sponsor here, you would know where to add it. So let's go look and find out where you do that. Again, we go to the dashboard. This time we scroll all the way down to something we haven't got to before, and that is the word widgets. Now widgets comes up and it tells you these are the available widgets, and again you can put a lot of different things in here, RSS feeds and links and variety of slideshow. Widgets can get complicated, but one of the things that allows you to do is a text widget. And all it is simply a blank box where I can type text, or I can put in HTML code to create this look that we're going for. And that's again what we chose to do. But let me show you real quickly. If you did not see these exposed, you would click on the two arrows and you're going to see two text widget boxes on the left and three here on the right. That matches up to the two here on the left and the 1, 2, and 3 on the right. Now, don't let this shock you when I open this up, because it will not be a language you're very familiar with. So let me just kind of show you briefly how this works. It's actually not as complicated as it looks, but let me just kind of show you just so you'll know. One of the things that on the tutorials that I've done is things related to the media library. And I indicated in the media library tutorial that when you add an image to the library, each image is assigned its own unique URL. And for instance, this Charnwood, I could click on this, I could view the image, and that right there is the specific URL to get directly to that image, because the image is stored on inside the media library of your site. So every image that you see on the site has its own unique URL. Same thing would apply with the azalea. I could view the image and there's the exact URL of the azalea. And same thing applies to this historic districts. This Join Us and become a member. Each of the different Southside Bank and the attorney, the Facebook and Twitter, all of those have unique URLs. So if you have that in place, then you can pretty much build it as long as you know how to do HTML code. But we wouldn't expect you to completely be able to build one of these from scratch, but I'm hoping that you don't have to make too many changes. But it'd be pretty easy for you to do if you ever wanted to, because if you've got one built, it'd be pretty easy to add another. So let me show you kind of a copy and paste deal. So let's look at this. And again, it's not as complicated as it might appear. So first off, on the text widget, and this is going to be for this section right here. I believe, yeah, it's this section right here. We have, this is just the code to align it so that it centers it so it looks real nice and neat. This image source, this img space src, that's called the image source. Notice what it's looking for. It is wanting to know basically the site is saying, okay, you tell me what picture you want me to go get, and I'll go get it, and I'll display it here. And so all we did was go in there and get the specific unique URL that I just mentioned and put it in. You put quotations around it, and that is your image source. It's real simple. We put a couple of, these are called page breaks, hard return kind of stuff. It's the code that they use for that. It's a break. I think that's what that stands for. And that just puts a little bit of space right here between the word historic Tyler and these things right here. Now, after that, you have these we call it the href. And this gets this A space href. This right here within the quotes is where you want a certain image to go to. Now, we don't have this historic districts linked, that image linked to anything. It just starts linking when you get down here. So let's look at this. Charnwood. You always put the link before the image, and so you have the link to the .org/historic property/Charnwood. The image source says to go get the Charnwood GIF file, and that's all you do. And then you have this page break thing. This is another little way of doing page break too. It works either way. Then you have another href for Azalea. You have the image source of Azalea, and then you stop and you start all over again. And you can see kind of how those continue on all the way down until we get to the other districts. So it would be really easy if I were in your position, and you said, we have a new district. Let's just call it new districts for lack of a better phrase. Once you have the image created, and you would load the image up in the media library so that it has a unique URL, you would then have to create a new page on your site called historictyler.org/historic property/new. And then all you would simply have to do is to come in here, starting with the end of what I would do is just copy this information right there. Now you want this little thing at the end always has to be at the end because that kind of closes things out. You would paste it right below that. And when you do that, now again, assuming, let's just say that this is, your thing is called new, and the page that it goes to is called new. This is what it would look like, right? Now, since we don't have that, I don't want to confuse you. If you were to save this, you could go over to your site, refresh it, and see that right down below here, the little image is added. So if you had a chance to, and some of these images were already on the site, we created overlay. But if you had another one, we created it. That's where that image source would go to, and that's how easy it is to add that. Again, it's probably more complicated looking than it actually is because you have it so much already there. You just copy and paste what you did previously and mimic that. Now, below here is the second widget. You'll see looks very similar. It's got a lot of the same coding. You have the link over to the href coding. This image source goes into the Join Us GIF. But then right after that, too, we have a lot of the just plain old text. So if you ever wanted to change the text over here and say, help us save Tyler's Treasures in 2010, all you have to do is go in 2010, save it, refresh the screen, and there's that right there. And that's how easy that is to just change text, as long as you don't. Key is to not mess up with any of these brackets. If you deleted that bracket, the whole thing gets messed up. But that's if you ever find yourself in that situation, just give us a call or an email, and we'll be happy to research it and probably ask you what you were working on so we can kind of identify what it is. Now, just for the sake of time, I'm going to just show you real quickly. On the right side, you're going to see here's the mission, and you have the hrefs and all that, but then there's just plain old text right there. And then after that, you have the second one. This is one that's got all the sponsors. So if you got some new sponsors, this is where you would add new sponsors. And then once you've done with that, then the last one is the Facebook and Twitter. And you can see here that we've got the Facebook references and the Twitter reference here. And pretty much that's what it is. So anyway, that's a little bit of how the sidebar widgets work in the with the text widgets. Now you kind of know how that operates, and if you ever need to change just simple text like these two things right here. Okay, hope that helps.